What's up? Black men need to learn how to build proper male friendships. One thing I've been trying to do recently is build a real life community where black men can come together and we can talk about building our sexual energy. We can talk about having affirming relationships. We can talk about eating healthier, actually, have an event where we do eat healthy food, working out together, talking about Black history. That's something that I've been wanting to create, and I've really kind of found more of how I really want to do it and the right ideas and the right mentality I need to have. But one thing that's been hard for me, given that I don't have that many good relationships with a lot of men, um, with a lot of black men, and I think that the friends that I do have, they don't live near me, and I'm trying to do something in my community where I live. And one thing I've just been running into is that I would always be so quiet around people and not talk and not get to know people and not conversate and not really be a social person, and that does play a role when building relationships when it comes to friendships with men, with black men. That's what I'm trying to do. And really just giving somebody a conversation, talking to somebody, getting to know people, letting people get to know you. I think that that is something that I am understanding that I have to do more of. Me just walking up to different guys and saying, okay, would you want to do this weekend? And this is something, a community I'm trying to do and a movement that I'm starting. And a lot of guys will just be like, yeah, okay. And then they won't show up because I was supposed to do something this weekend with some guys, and neither one of them really cared. And neither one of them showed up. And I understand that because I didn't really build any type of real relationship with these dudes. I just said, hey man, I'm doing something this weekend about like self-improvement and stuff. Would you want to, join that? And given that I haven't spoke to these guys, I haven't really had that much of a relationship as far as getting to know them and us being friends, then, that's what I think led to them not even showing up. And I do have actual friends outside of that, but they're not really like-minded, so I could say they're friends. I only have one friend that I would say right now that I know in person that's like-minded, but he don't live nowhere near. He stay in another state now. So, and I blame myself with a lot of things when it comes to having better relationships with a lot of friends. I blame myself. I pushed myself away from a lot of people. A lot of times because I was like, okay, I need to get away from these people because I'm trying to better myself. But it was also other times where I would push myself away from guys that I knew was like-minded and they were trying to do the same thing I was doing, and I would push a lot of those type of guys away as well, and I regret that. But I know that, you know, I can build all of that back, and it's a thing where you just have to know what to do now and know how to move forward and know how to interact with people and know how to build, a proper relationship when it comes to having friends and stuff. And I think that I don't want men to join my community just because we're friends. I want them to join because I want it to I want them to see the value in it, right? But I understand that I need more, I guess social status in a way. So I think that people can really see the value in what I'm trying to do, even if we're not that close. But because I have such little such little social status, I believe when I was younger, I had a lot more of it because I had a lot more friends. But now it's just I probably got a handful of people that I talk to on the day to day, and most people that I used to talk to around my town, I don't talk with any of them no more. And yeah, man, I understand that it is important to talk to people, to get to know people. And I'm not one of these guys that's like trying to force myself to be around and hang around people. But when you want to create something big and something powerful, you need other like-minded men. And I know those men are out there because with previous channels that I had, I've spoken to guys from all over the world. And that really inspired me to try to create something in real life. But I'm understanding that you have to know the importance of just getting to know people. You have to really know the importance of that. And a lot of black men don't understand that. And a lot of black men are not even in the mindset that I'm in when it comes to trying to make a movement, and I don't want it to be centered around God or religion or anything like that, because we have so much of that already. And I don't think that that's the thing that we need, because I think it can help, obviously, but I think that we have so much of it. If it was really working how it should be working, or how they say it should be working, then it wouldn't be a need for other things to happen, like me creating a movement. I think that men coming together and men taking action to improve themselves in their individual life, but also coming together to help each other. I think that's powerful, and I think that's something that really is needed, because in the church, it's not something that I would say is working purely because we have so much of it. It should have been working a long time ago if it was actually working. It should have yielded results a long time ago. And I think with very few men, it may yield results, but I think in general, it's not yielding the results. So I think that it's other things that need to be more action oriented around men coming together and helping each other be better, improving, and gaining power overall, making more money, being just more community oriented. And I think that that's kind of how the world is. It's usually a very small number of people who are actually trying to do that. And, even a smaller number of black men who are trying to do that. And I think I'm starting to understand that. And even if it is a man who's trying to improve, you got to get to know these. A lot of times you got to get to know a lot of them. And I think when it comes to the internet, you can allow yourself to get known, or people to get to know you without you actually interacting, because you can make videos, right? And so I think that that's how a lot of people get to relate to me, and they get to know me through my videos. But I think in real life, it requires you just to have a conversation, get to know people. If you see somebody at the store, just, give them a quick conversation, or get to know people, be more interactive with people, be a good listener, care about other people, actually. And I think that I come from a past of being very shy, very quiet, not talking to people. And I did have friends and stuff, but that's kind of how I've been for the past couple years. And I'm really starting to get out of that with trying to just, get to know people and things like that. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.